Good evening, friends. Welcome to PSIR Analytica. So today we are discussing the question which was posted on 30th June 2022. Basically, the question was on Indian foreign policy. Let's look at what is the question and then try to address the demand. The question said that discuss the role of the Indian Parliament in the making of Indian foreign policy. So simple in that regard, they are asking you to discuss, and they are asking you to discuss what? The role of the Indian Parliament in making of the Indian foreign policy for 15 marks in that regard. 10 marks or 150 words. So here what you can start with that, you can start with an introduction saying that Indian foreign policy is an outcome of various factors which have influenced the making, and one important factor is the Indian Parliament. Then you can give a subheading in that regard saying that what is the role of Indian Parliament. Here you can structure your answer systematically in a way where you can say, first one, Parliament plays a very input role with regarding certain lawmaking process or the budgetary control. So here you can quote Article 246 of the Indian Constitution, which authorizes the Parliament to legislate on external affairs. Then you can also say that under Article 253, the Parliament has budgetary control as well as the implementation of any international agreement which has been signed. Third one, you can say it also plays the role of ratification of important international treaties. Example you can give, India ratified the Human Rights Convention, which was ratified in the Indian Parliament. Third one, it also acts as an agency of influence. So here you can give the example of question hour and parliamentary committees. Which influences the government's decision making. Here you can give the example of the Committee on Security, which influence the government to bring about modernization of India's defense to bridge the widening gap between India and China in that regard. And then you can go about speaking about, however, there are various factors which have limited what we can say, there is a limitation with respect to the role of Parliament. In that regard, you can say one limitation with regarding to role is the executive supremacy. Executive supremacy. So you can give the example during whenever the executive has a majority in Parliament, the role of the Parliament has been sidelined in making important foreign policy decision. You can give the example of Tashkent Agreement or Shimla Agreement. None of them were referred to the Indian Parliament. These were taken by the executives in that regard. Or you can also see the Prime Minister's office taking important role in Rafale deal rather than the issue being raised in Parliament. And third one you can say, second one you can say, the personality cult. So when we have charismatic prime ministers in that regard, the role of the Parliament is completely signed because prime ministers are also the leaders of the house in that regard. So many times they take important decisions rather than the Parliament having a very limited role. Third one, you can say also the limitation is because many members of Parliament, MPs, have limited knowledge. In external affairs. Since they have limited knowledge in external affairs, they do not take part actively on the discussion or question hours of relating to the foreign policy or the external affairs in that regard. So then you can also use a quote given by MC Chagla, who was basically an ex-foreign minister in Indira Gandhi's cabinet. He said, the consultative committees on external affairs, the consultative committees on external affairs, they're more often agencies to get policies accepted, and they're muting criticism rather than influencing foreign policy. So in a way you can write, over the years, because of executive domination, the charismatic prime minister in that regard, the parliament has just been playing a very limited role or peripheral role in the making of the Indian foreign policy. So friends, these can be the inputs which you can write in your answer in that regard. These are the dimensions what you can bring about. There is no need to bring too many scholars here in that regard. It's more effectively you address the question, discuss, you can tell what role and why the role is limited. If this can be part of your answer, it will get you good marks or fetch you good marks in the examination. So friends, with this we are coming to an end for today's discussion on today's question. Again, I'll meet you tomorrow with a new set of questions. Till then, stay safe and take care. Thank you.